Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contracts, service is month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Gina Fioretti on the line, and she's founder and epigeneticist over at mylifeIQ. Gina, welcome to the show.
Hi there. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, Gina. So I'm excited to get into today's topic. So from healthcare to personalized life care. So we're going to get into that topic. I think it's an interesting one. But before we do that, let's go a little bit further into what you're doing over at mylifeIQ. Tell us a little bit more about your company, please.
Yeah. So mylifeIQ is a youth engagement tool that helps people align their life, their DNA. So everything you do is optimized, and you don't waste time and you don't waste effort, and you get sort of straight to the point of your health, and you feel good all the time, and you don't have to worry through all the trial and error and the guesswork.
No, I'm a big fan of this, and this whole idea of life care or personalized health care or like all of these things, I think they're going to make for a better quality of living for us all over time, and so I think that's a great transition. So let's just dive into today's topic. So from healthcare to personalized life care, I mean, you're working in and day out on this topic. Where do you want to start this one? It's a big one.
Yeah, it is, and there's a lot of components because, you talk about life care, it's everything you do, right? So your DNA is basically how you're structured, and it gives us sort of your operating manual, but then how do you put it to use? And you have blood work, and you have DNA information, and you have, EMRs and health history and all these different theories about what's right or wrong or healthy or not healthy, and it's confusing. And you can have all the data in the world, but all the data in the world won't actually help you use the data on a daily basis. And so what we do is we aggregate all of those pieces about you because you work as a whole. Everything is connected and there are interdependencies everywhere. And what we do is put it all together for you. We connect all the dots, and then we give you this really easy, simplified user engagement, take you through your day. It's like your personalized healthcare companion in the palm of your hand. And,
wow.
And it helps to just get you through all the challenges of what do I eat? How do I eat? What's that, how long do I exercise? What time is best for me? Everything is customized to you. So, in the future, it looks like a completely different, interaction where you're customizing your meals and your exercise for you and not basing it off of someone else, because even something that seems like it's healthy could actually be working against you.
I love it. And so walk me through what this looks like. So I'm a new client of yours, and I'm saying, okay, like I like the product. I want to get started. Like walk me through kind of how that works and how this can benefit me.
Yeah. So you'll, if you don't already have genomic testing, we have lab partners. We're not trying to reinvent any wheel. We're trying to just put them all together. And so you'll get your DNA kit. Because we're trying to just make everything really easy, everything's non-invasive, and you can sync up all your data points, your wearables and IoT and your EMR data. And once it's all in there, you get a LifeIQ score, which is basically what we're calling the FICO score for health. And once you get your score, we walk you through how to improve your score. And it's, good morning, Adam. This is what I saw, how you slept last night based off of the wearable that's in real time on your app.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, what you need to do for the day, taking into account your DNA, the things you did yesterday, the way that you slept, what what your health patterns are. And then just says, hey, drink this amount of tea or coffee or whatever you like. And then, work out like this and take these vitamins because this is the right dose of type for you. And, it gets all the way into working with your doctors and your physicians on medications because we can personalize all of that as well. We personalize diets and it's even down to the shampoos and body washes that you use because there's a gene for everything. So, when the App Store came out, there was like, oh, there's an app for that. There's an app for that. Like anything you can imagine. Well, anything that you're thinking about your body, your characteristics, the things you see, the things you can't see underneath, there's a gene for that. And what's more is that they're all connected. And so you can't just look at one marker exclusive of all the others. You have to take all these things into account, which is why we use whole exome testing and whole genome testing instead of just SNP analysis or panels, like small specific panels. We have to look at the whole picture or else we're not doing you, the full service of taking everything into account.
Oh my gosh, this is like my dream. It does everything for me. All right, tell me what I'm supposed to do next, Magic Genie, also known as mylifeIQ. Tell me what's next. How much coffee should I be taking today? Oh my gosh. And I'm one of those measuring fanatics, so you can't improve what you don't measure, right? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let me measure that. I'm walking around with measuring cups, and I obviously that's an extreme example, and I'm just but that's where my mind works. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And I just want an update. Like, what should I do next? Tell me. Based off my genes. I'm in.
Right? It's so, because it's confusing, but ever since I was little, I've always said what I do best is give people information about their bodies and their health that they didn't have access to or couldn't understand because it's hard to understand it all.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just kind of been connecting dots my whole life and putting it all together. And it's about accessibility and simplicity. It's not trying to turn you into a scientist or a doctor. You shouldn't have to do that to feel good.
No, I love that.
And so, you get your test, you follow the prompts, and it's all customized and geared to you. So it's even in kind of a voice, if you will, of someone that resonates, something that resonates with you. Like if you need hardcore motivation or if you need something more sweet and, uplifting. And it's because it's supposed to be for you. It's your life. So you get to improve it. And, we're the leader in this health intelligence platform. And it's we're here to help.
That's awesome. So what kind of feedback have you gotten on this? Cause, from people that have used it so far? I'm just curious because it sounds like a great concept and it sounds awesome. I'm just curious what kind of things people have said so far.
So we're still in very early stage. We're still developing a lot of the different pieces of the platform and the data structure and all of that. I have run a couple of betas with some different groups of people, and one of the biggest things I get is, whoa, I wish someone would have told me this 10, 15 years ago. And because you go and you try and you work out all the time and you take all these supplements or you take medicine and have side effects and, it's all sorts of different things. We've all seen it firsthand or somewhere, a loved one or what have you. They're having, a negative response to or no response to the work that they're putting in to try to be healthy. And it can give you the runaround. So it's really liberating, actually, where you go, oh my gosh, all I had to do was tweak this one little thing, and I've lost those last 10 pounds, or I don't have brain fog anymore, or I'm taking this up, I don't have to buy 15 supplements now, I only need these 3, or, it's any number of things. So while we don't have the full interface yet, we have, different experiences with people on different levels of health and wellness. And it's great. It's an easy thing. I think one of the biggest things is my main takeaway with not having the interface yet is that we need the interface. Because you can give people all sorts of great information, but they're not going to carry it around in a book with them when they go eat or when they're at the gym. They want something that's easy. And right now, we're all glued to our phones. We have digital technology everywhere. So we have to keep up with that in terms of technology and give it to you the way that you're actually going to use it.
Man, that's awesome. I love it. It's a great concept, and I'm a big fan of what you're doing over there at mylifeIQ. So that being said, Gina, so if somebody's listening to this and they want more information, they want to connect and figure out how to get involved or to use the product or just follow the brand's evolve, like what you're doing next. So that's exciting. What's the best way for them to reach out and to connect?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook page. It's at just mylifeIQ, and then we have Instagram as well, the same handle, the mylifeIQ. And then you can also send us an email at hello@mylifeiq.com if you'd like more information or if you want to be part of a beta program before we launch. And we're always happy to help.
Fantastic. Well, Gina, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background and all the great work you're doing over at mylifeIQ. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review in the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments in the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Gina, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.